So I'm here by myself today, so I figured, you know what? When the boss away, the mice will play, right? So we're gonna do a little villain. So if you guys have any input as to what kind of villain we should build, please let it be known. Because you know how we do this here. I'm not gonna just sit here and make one for you guys. We're gonna work together and we're gonna build this epic bad guy that could be used as an antagonist in any campaign setting for D&D. We are doing a 5th edition D&D character for villain purposes. One of the things that kind of inspired me to want to do this is the fact that the Tales from the Yawning Portal came out recently, and of course I've been looking through it and looking at all the cool bad guys in here, and I was like, man, I know that everybody that watches could definitely come up with a really cool villain concept, so I thought, yeah, let's do that. That sounds like a blast. All right, I just need to jump on here, find the video. I don't think we're actually broadcasting. Are we? Are we broadcasting on Game Trade Media? All right. Holy crap, we totally are. I don't know why I couldn't see that thing. All right. Just kidding, everybody. We're here. Hey, James, has a day off. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to build this villain. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun because a hero is only as awesome, I guess, as the villains that they fight. So, you know, in regards to like comic book characters, Batman wouldn't be so awesome if he wasn't, you know, battling people like Dr. Freeze or the Joker, Harley Quinn, Bane, you know, all these awesome bad guys. So yeah, so let's make a villain. I've always been kind of a fan of Thieves Guilds. So do you guys want to do like a Thieves Guild villain, or do you guys want to do something else? Let me know what kind of bad guy you guys want to make using 5th edition D&D rules. And then we'll get right into it. You know, we'll roll some stats, kind of decide where they're going to go. I kind of want to make this like a 5th level character. I know in the past we've done 1st level characters, and that's when we do our regular PC type characters stats, we'll do them at first level. But this villain has to be a little bit more than just, you know, 1st level. So what kind of villain do you guys want to make today? I think I could probably start writing out the stats. So I'm going to go ahead and start rolling those. We'll just put them down in a random order, then we'll assign them once we kind of decide, because the stats themselves could actually give us a better idea as to what kind of villain we're going to make. So here we go. The first stat is a 15. That looks, no wait, is that, yeah, 15. So we have a 15. Let's write that right here, 15. I'm just going to put that over the character sheet for now, so you guys can see it in the overhead. All right, the next stat, a necromancer. Necromancers are pretty awesome, Aaron. I will not lie, I do enjoy a good necromancer. All right, here we go. We're going to drop the next stat. What do we got there? Dang, is that another 15? That is another 15. It's not bad. This bad guy's getting some good stats here. So another 15. All right. How about a foil for Gazira? I mean, James, yeah, this could be someone that is a nemesis to Gazira, the half-orc monk we made once in the beginnings. All right, next stat. Ooh, a 13. But still, not bad, depending on where we're going to put them all. Hopefully we won't get too many dumps. All right. So here we go. Again, for those of you just tuning in, just watching, we are doing a villain build for building character today. We've done a couple heroes. Gazira was our first one, a half-orc monk. Now we're doing a villain. This villain will be a 5th level character, so it's going to be a female paladin with split personalities. That's actually pretty cool, Tony. All right, here's the next stat potential. All right, so that's a 3, 4. All right, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ooh. Wait, yeah, 12. All right, so we have 2 more stats to roll. I don't think I want to use those dice anymore. Let's try these ones. A necromancer vampire from Lord Cal's cabal that is tasked to hunt down Gazira. That's not a bad one either. Used the Oathbreaker for Paladin. Oh, so much good stuff. Oh, I shouldn't have changed the dice. So a 10. All right, so we got one more stat. These stats will change, obviously, when we do the whole building up of the levels and if there's any racial adjustments that need to be made as well. So, all right, here we go. The next one. Last stat. Anything good? Ooh, 8, 9, again, another 10. So not too bad. Not a super powerful character based on stats alone. So we have a 15, a 15, a 13, 12, and 2 10s. So let's go ahead and assign said stats. All right, so, hey, what's up, Aaron? We're usually, I like the Paladin idea. That's pretty cool. But let's take a look at what we got in the book here real quick. Those out of the way. Don't forget to share this on your pages, guys. All right. We'd like to get as many people watching as we can to see all the fun stuff we're doing here. All right. So we have the different races. I mean, do we want it to be, like a vampire or undead of some sort as a villain? Do we want to skin it with something like that? I don't know. Hey, Felix. A 5th level fighter with 2 broken arms that has no training, has to train an apprentice that only has 11s for stats. All right, so the Paladin Oathbreaker, let's take a look at what that is. All right. Let's see, we got the fighters. All right, Paladin's just before the Ranger here, so. All right, breaking your oath. Yikes. All right, so we have the Paladin. Now, a 5th level Paladin is going to be pretty cool if we could decide to go that path. And I'm looking for the Oathbreaker, Oath of Vengeance. A Paladin tries to hold to the highest standards of conduct, but even the most virtuous Paladin is fallible. Sometimes the right path proves too demanding, sometimes a situation calls for the lesser of 2 evils, and sometimes the heat of emotion causes a Paladin to transgress his or her oath. A Paladin who has broken a vow typically seeks absolution from a cleric who shares his or her faith, or from another Paladin of the same order. The Paladin might spend an all-night vigil and prayer as a sign of penitence, or undertake a fast or similar act of self-denial. After a rite of confession and forgiveness, the Paladin starts fresh. But if a Paladin willfully violates his or her oath and shows no sign of repentance, the consequences can be more serious. At the DM's discretion, an impenitent Paladin might be forced to abandon the class and adopt another, or perhaps take the Oathbreaker Paladin option. That appears in the Dungeon Master's Guide. Okay, so here's the thing. I do not have the Dungeon Master's Guide for 5th edition. I know, crazy, right? You would think where I work I would have that already, but I do not have it. So that wouldn't be a bad thing. We can go down that path to make it. Oh, a lich? James, that's crazy. No, I love liches. Liches are actually one of the coolest villains that you can build. So here's my thing. Let us do, based on what you guys are saying here, we've had the Paladin, a non-believer. We'll do a Paladin build, but we will make it an Oathbreaker. All right, so that it can walk that path. And what I'll do is I'll go grab a DMG and I'll then skin it and then see how it looks. All right, so let's go ahead and build this Paladin. We know that our stats are kind of, unremarkable, I would think, for a Paladin, but what race are we going to make it? I know. How do I not have a DMG with me? I'm just building characters. I wasn't expecting to need a DMG, but that's okay. Like I said, it's easy enough. I just grab them after this and take a look at it for the Oathbreaker build. But let us do that. Let us build it. What the heck? See, look at that. That is a fail on my part. I apologize, everybody. The reason my ringer was up is I was actually, just before I came in for this episode, I watched the Star Wars Last Jedi trailer, and wow, that was crazy. Again, another reason I'm in this whole villain mindset. So we're gonna go with a paladin and go with that. All right, but what race are we gonna give him? I'm gonna make an annotation at the top here that this will be an Oathbreaker. And why? Now there's the question. Why is he or she an Oathbreaker? And if we do want to make this a nemesis to Gezira, why is there a animosity between the two, or potentially why is this paladin breaking their oath and have become an enemy to Gezira? Tiefling Overlord. Mark, that's funny. A gnome like Kurt Pearson. Love me some Kurt. Kurt is awesome. Maybe he broke his oath because the order he was in was primarily full of elves and always looked down on him. That's actually not a bad idea. A dwarf paladin. So we have an elf, or we have a half elf, a dwarf, a gnome, another elf. All right. All right. So let us know. So we got the next race. If it's any of the others, will be the one that we pick for this paladin Oathbreaker that we're going to be building here. So we still have dwarven paladin. So we have a dwarf, half elf, tiefling, gnome, and full elf. So we have 5 races right there. Boom, big 5 races. I mean, we could even go dragonborn. That'd be a good one. Gnome, another gnome. Okay, you do realize that the good guy that we built is a half orc monk with like a 19 strength who is just devastation on wheels. All right, there we have it. Gnome Paladin, who becomes an Oathbreaker. You guys are crazy. I love it. So the gnome, and what alignment do we want to give this gnome, who is an Oathbreaker? All right, so we got the Gnome Paladin. That's what we're going with. A lot of love for gnomes today. I'm looking up their racial benefits here real quick. All right, there's elves. Where you at? Where you at, gnomes? Got halflings, humans. There they are, gnomes. They're delighted in dedication of care. Of course they are. Not this one. So a gnome gets an ability increase in their intelligence. So we can take one of those 10s and drop in there and give it a 12, which would even give it a more rounded out character base. Chaotic evil, lawful evil. All right, chaotic evil. So when it goes down the Oathbreaker path, it breaks its brain and becomes chaotic. Instead of that lawful. I mean, lawful would be, you know, the path of a paladin usually, right? But are we going to go straight up, just straight evil, chaotic evil? To pursue Gezira on a quest of vengeance. Okay, that's a good one. Cynthia's got chaotic evil. Rick Brister, we're absolutely building a villain here. All right, so we're going to go chaotic evil. You guys, I can tell that all of you watching are just evil. Again, for those of you that are just tuning in, we are doing a villain build for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons featuring, everybody's decided we're building a gnome paladin who's chaotic evil. And the reason it's a paladin is because this paladin is an Oathbreaker. Something happened and is now walking down a path of darkness. So there we have it. Now let's drop some stats here. So we have, we know that we get a +2 to our intelligence. Based on being a gnome. So where do we want to drop that +2? Or drop what stat? We have 2 15s, 2 10s, a 13, and a 12. So let's pick our intelligence real quick. Do we want to drop a 10 and add 2, give him a 12? Or what do we want to do here? Arcane Trickster Rogue is awesome, Cynthia. That is a great one. That would have been a great Thieves Guild leader, I think. But we're going with this paladin here. But we will do a Thieves Guild leader eventually because we do need one. We need one in this campaign. Ooh, cool. A cursed item would be a good one. Yeah, thanks, Synth. So, all right, we're doing stats, everybody. We need to get those stats set up. So do we want to drop a 10 or do we want to give them a little bit more higher intelligence in there. Because I feel like, because it's a paladin, we got to give him a decent charisma, so one of the 15s probably should drop there. So I think that's what we should do. We'll put a 15 in charisma. I'm going to drop, so we mark one of them off. So let me just put this down here so we can take a watch what we've got here. So we've got another 15, a 13, a 12, a 10, and a 10. All right. Higher intelligence. All right, so we're going to go, wait, it's a deep gnome? Okay. I'm only working with the normal or forest. I'm going to go with just the normal gnome stats. All right, so let's drop a 15 in intelligence, which now makes him a 17. 13 strength. 12 constitution. 10 dex, 10 wisdom. All right? Not a bad setup for a villain. And again, as we go up in the level process here, we'll get some more stuff going on here. So background, this is going to be, we're going to go 5th level. 5th level, Paladin Oathbreaker. All right. 15 strength, charisma, 13 con. William, those was actually pretty good. Go for high intelligence if he is chaotic evil. I think I did go to the high intelligence, 13 strength, 10 dex, 12 con, 15 charisma. So pretty well rounded as far as that goes. And like I said, as we know, we go up in level, there's going to be some mods that will also take place. So let's take a look real quick at what's going to happen here for character advancement. At 5th level, they get a +3 proficiency bonus. That's nice. All right. Now, right. Now we're going to go right to the gnome again real quick and see what else we get to add to this character. It's funny that they're most often good aligned characters, but this one broke his brain. Something happened. So we're going to give him his speed. His walking speed is 25. All right. You have the advantage on all intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws against magic. That's nice. You can speak, read, and write common. Yes, we can. Common. And gnome. What? So you can speak gnomish. The gnomish language, which uses the dwarvish script, is renowned for its technical treatises and its catalogs of knowledge about the natural world. All right. So we have forest gnomes and rock gnomes. Those are kind of cool. All right, so now we go to the paladin side. Shignitz the Magnificent. 15 strength. Okay, so yeah, we are going to have to go with a name. Our first input on that is Shignitz. He's broken because he found a cursed dagger. The dagger has a demon trapped inside of it, which has influenced his actions. William, that's a good one. I like your last name, William. Frank Castle. That's awesome. While Gazira was under the employ of a warlord, she was led to believe that the local gnome village was actually an evil covenant sent to destroy the countryside and bring ruin and famine to all. In reality, the village was the home of our paladin, and after the village was destroyed, the paladin left the order to hunt down all those responsible. I mean, that's pretty dark. And we know that Gazira is a good character, but that's not a bad storyline arc there. Norman Hellraiser. Norman Hellraiser. And then what else did we have there? Shignitz and Norman. So Norman, the gnomish paladin, Norman Hellraiser. All right, I'm going to go to the paladin skin here, as far as the character class here, and figure out what we got here. So proficiency bonuses we got that already. Proficiency bonuses +3. We're going to have divine sense and lay on hands are some of the things that we have. We have divine sense, and I'm sure once I get my hands on the DMG this afternoon, I can take a look at potentially making. Again, we're going to make this an Oathbreaker. So for those of you that are just tuning in, we are making a villain today for Dungeons and Dragons. This one is a Oathbreaker Paladin, who is a gnome of chaotic evil alignment. We're working on a name, everybody, so make sure you drop in your name ideas in there so we can come up with a cool name for this character. We got a couple of suggestions already. Let's get a few more. So we got Lay on Hands with this character. Fighting Style, we'll look that up here in a second too. Fighting Style. Spellcasting, Divine Smite. So we pick up our spellcasting when we also have Divine Smite, which is nice. All right. And then at 3rd level, we get Divine Health and Sacred Oath. Divine Health and Sacred Oath. Paladin seems to get a lot of cool stuff. I'm really interested to see what happens when we make this an Oathbreaker and how that's going to affect all this. So we get ability score improvement at 4th level and extra attack at 5th. All right. And ability score improvement. All right. So based on that, we do our ability score improvement. All right, so this guy is going to be pretty awesome. You guys are, again, because you guys help out with some really cool ideas here, you guys come up with some really cool, like, tough bad guys here. All right, so Wisdom and Charisma are their saving throws that we get to choose here. Skills, choose 2 from Athletics, Insight, Intimidation, Medicine, Persuasion, and Religion. All right, so there's the skill sets we get to choose 2 of them. Athletics, Insight, Intimidation, Medicine, Persuasion, and Religion. Which skills do you think our Oathbreaker Paladin would be a little bit more attuned to? Athletics, Insight, Intimidation, Medicine, Persuasion, and Religion. We get to pick 2 of those. See what else we got here. We got Gavorn Fizzlemorton. That's actually cool. Here to support your thing. Hey, Loki, thank you. See, Loki is awesome. Great cosplays. A villain's backstory should be dark and broken. You're right, James. Absolutely dark and broken. I'm headed to work. Have a good one. Hey, Cynthia, thank you very much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. What are this NPC's motivations? All right, so yeah, that's what you guys are going to help me decide is, because this is a community build, we're building this character based on your guys' suggestions and backstory. So yeah, what is this gnome paladin's motivations? Why did he break his oath? Is this a character that is an antagonist to Gazira and any other good aligned characters we'll be building out of 5th edition? Because we're literally building like our own little like campaign world with all the stuff we're doing here in the 5th edition side. I know we've done some character builds from like the One Ring and Pathfinder, but everything we do with the 5th edition stuff is always going to be, we want to try to make it all interlace as best as we can. So give me some more insight, guys. What are we making with this character here? Oh yeah, Intimidation. Ooh, Christoph Strongbear, just joining out the Christian. That's a good one. So Insight and Intimidation are the 2 that you guys are really jumped on, right? Chaotic Good. No, we got that already. Insight. Okay, Insight. All right, here we go. We will take Insight and Intimidation. So those are perfect. All right. Ability score improvement. When you reach 4th level, you gain, and again at 8th, 12th through 16th, you can increase 1 ability score to your choice by 2, or you can increase 2 ability scores of your choice by 1. As normal, you cannot increase an ability score above 20 using this feature. All right, so we get 2 points. We can put 2 on 1 or 1 on 2. Which 2 stats should we change? Hey, Bob. Thanks for joining us. Bob, for those of you guys in the chat room, Bob is a writer of Monty the Dinosaur, a comic book by Action that is being published by Action Labs. So welcome, Bob. And he and I used to play D&D together back in the day. Maybe because his mentor did some questionable stuff, and when he approached the order about it, they blew him off, thus leading him to this path. Just one thought. That's actually pretty good. Ah, she's a gnome. I feel like instead of increasing that, she should take the mobile feat to increase speed by 10 foot. Ooh, that's also pretty good. What do you guys think about that? Should we increase some stats or should we take a feat? So let me know. Let me know what you guys think. Already get extra attacks, so we're good there. So this character is already awesome, and that's true. I do miss our games, Bob. It's true. We never even finished that one campaign. Let's make it a female. That might be another reason that these two are antagonist, against each other. So let's kind of switch those names to a more feminine character. Stats. All right, so the stats that we have right now are Strength 13, Dex 10, Con 12, Intelligence 17, Wisdom 10, Charisma 15. And remember, this is a paladin who has become an Oathbreaker, so is now chaotic evil, and is our villain in our campaign setting. This is going to be one of our antagonists in Gazira and stuff like that. All right, so Tanya says +2 intelligence. We have many people saying stats. I like the fact that the paladin was trying to protect the family, but instead of the deity, maybe it was the order itself. Okay. So we have multiple stat requests on the mod. Let's see what else we got. I feel like instead of increasing stats, she should take the feat. Maybe because of a mentor. All right. We're going to get to the weapons here in a minute. Gilda Ironwood. +1 charisma, +1 strength. Aaron's got some good ones there. So, Fiona Goodmeadow. Ooh, I like Gilda Ironwood. All those in favor of Gilda Ironwood. Fiona Goodmeadow does seem like a good named character. It could have been Fiona Goodmeadow, but now because becoming an Oathbreaker, they're not very pleasant. But that could also be used in their advantage. So let's go with whatever you guys decide. Are we going with Gilda or are we going Fiona? So you guys in the group, in the chat there, let me know. Is our villain going to be Fiona Goodmeadow or Gilda Ironwood? Or is it now Gilda Ironwood as it takes the dark path, but used to be known as Gilda? All right? So, or as Fiona. So Gilda is up. Gilda's got 3 now. All right. Gilda. All right, so we're Gilda Ironwood. Gilda Ironwood. All right, she already sounds like a badass. Gilda Ironwood, our 5th level paladin who is an Oathbreaker, now chaotic evil with a vengeance for going out and destroying. She just has this need to eliminate Gazira, the half-orc monk, who is actually a good guy. All right. There we go. So Gilda wins out. Hey, Clayton. Through this, she begins to question her oath and her faith in general, finally breaking her oath to preserve her morals. She believes the best way to atone is to eradicate her order of what she feels is corruption. Oof. Yikes. Yes, you're right. Dark backstories are absolutely needed when it comes to making a villain. So you're right. All right, so we're going to take a lot of this and we're going to probably mix it all in and come up with a really cool backstory. Hey, Brittany, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. What do we got here? Gilda Ironwood sounds dwarvish. I'll be quiet now. Robert, it does sound a little dwarvish. That's true. But let's say that, Gilda is from a forest that is a lot of ironwood around it, and they use it in their mechanicians, their different siege weapons that they've built or whatever, because they're crafty little gnomes. All right. So Gilda Ironwood, we've got some stats here. We've got our skills and our saving throws. We know as wisdom and charisma. We've got our feats and traits. Now, as far as this character goes, we really need to come up with the personality traits, and they're going to be a little flipped because having broke their oath, I feel that their personality traits are now going to be a little sullen, I guess. They're not going to be so cheerful or driven in the path that they may originally were. So now we may have to come up with some different path traits, personality traits, ideals, bonds, and stuff like that. All right, so let us go to that next part in the character build here and find, man, there's so many different characters to choose from. We'll come back and make another good guy soon. All right, here we go. So many spells. Personality and background. All right, so gnomes, we got to come up with the, you know, we got like height and all that stuff, right? Is important. So grab, there we go, this piece of paper. James, absolutely write down some of this stuff and come up with a good background. Everybody is more than welcome if you do want to participate in that aspect of writing up a backstory and coming up with a cool like reason why our Gilda Ironwood Oathbreaker Paladin has decided to take the path of the dark side. Write a little, like, you know, a couple paragraphs of their backstory. We'll post it right up here on our page so you guys can check it out and share it and add this character to your list of nemesis or NPCs that your characters at home can go up against. Let's see. What do we got here? Everybody is not sharing. No, you guys are sharing. I got 30 shares on this already. You guys rock. All right, so anyways, gnomes. We got to come up with a base height. We know what it is. Base height for a gnome is 2'11". So like that tall. But we get 2d8 to add to that. So let's see what we got. We got 7. So 10 more inches. All right, so that's going to put us at 3'9". Is that right? Yeah, 3'9". So little firecracker. And wow, 35 pounds base with a weight modifier of times 1 pound. So 35 pounds. All right. What color eyes does this character have? It is, Kevin, it is a she. So she is named Gilda Ironwood, and she is our bad guy. So it should be pretty cool. So also make sure you guys share this on your social media so that all your friends can join us in building these awesome characters. Because Gilda has been out in the world and has reached 5th level before becoming this Oathbreaker, her age is going to be important for us, right? So, and gnomes have a long lifespan, so we need to come up with a good age for her. Let's see here. Where are you at? In your gnomes. All right. Age. Gnomes mature at the same rate as humans do, and most are expected to settle down into an adult life by around age 40. They can live from 350 to almost 500 years, however. So I'm thinking around 27, 28. Ooh, give her a face scar. Gray eyes. I like gray eyes too. Gray. Skin, we'll go with, I like olive, kind of like, because she's a gnome from the Ironwood forest, let's say, and that's why she takes the name Ironwood. Gilda Ironwood has like an olive, so that she can almost blend in a little bit to their surroundings. And her hair, does she even have hair? Is she a female gnome who shaved it and has tattooed her skull? That would be crazy. Around 36. William thinks around 36. All right, brown, dirty, blonde hair. That's a good one. Green eyes. Green eyes is always, you know, a good one. I like gray, though. Hardened. Brown eyes. Brown eyes. Kevin, it's a she. Okay. Head tats. All right, so I like that, too. Let's go with bald with tattoos. And this is all following her fall or breaking of her oath. She starts this like maybe a little bit of a self-destructive nature, but she doesn't see it as that. So she's like adds some cool tattooing on her skull, down around her neck. Who knows? Could be, it's just crazy. Mohawk with tattoos. She has a mohawk. Mohawk is actually good too, dang. All right, how about this? Let's vote on it. Does she have hair? Is she bald? Or does she have a mohawk? There's going to be tattoos involved, but let's go with those 3 choices. So many good ones. You guys are just blowing it up today with some really good options for this character. So what are we thinking here? Are we going with tattoos, mohawk, bald, hair? What do we got? So let's go. The first one to get 3 votes on it is what we're going to go with. All right. So there's our first for the mohawk with the dragon head tat with the mohawk as the dragon's mane. Hair with one side shaved and with tattoos. Dang it. Second face sort of deal. Oh, like a tattoo on the back of another face. That's creepy. Not bad. Clayton's got, I love mohawk with tattoos. Makes her stand out. Upside down cross scar on the forehead. Mohawk for sure. Okay, so we're going to go mohawk. And that's the cool thing about the mohawk is even with the mohawk, you can still lay it over. So it gives you that half head. Like, let's say, kind of depending on the mood, you could have the tattoo on this side be a certain thing, and then on the other side another one. So depending on the mood, she could just flip her hair over and be like, oh, you guys, like, all sunny and glorious on this side, but when she's angry, she kind of does the hair flip, and then it's all like death and destruction on the other side. Yeah, kind of looks like the guy from Fifth Element. That would have been, man, what is that actor's name? I almost said Gary Sinise, but that's not right. Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman was the actor that played that character. I know bald is cool, Todd. There's no doubt, but we're getting half. We get a little bit more than half. Or mohawk and flip it back and forth. So we're gonna go. All right, we'll go mohawk. All right. So got that. Inspiration. So we're going to go with our backgrounds now. And with this is something that we can actually, I think because we are building an evil character or a fallen paladin, an oathbreaker, maybe we want to pick or even create new ideas for this as far as our personality, our ideals, and our bonds and flaws. All right? Because apparently, you know, we all know that based on what this character was, from what we've been discussing already, this character was a good person at one time. Something happened. Something fractured their spirit, fractured their psyche, perhaps, or their beliefs, and now they are walking a path of evil. It's almost like a fallen Jedi. Again, because I watched The Last Jedi before coming in here, I'm going to use that as a reference. But maybe a fallen Jedi that is now absolutely walking the path of the dark side, and that one driving reason is Gazira. So, and that, yeah, Tanya, that does kind of go with a split personality. Zorg, that was his name. Have one side to be original. Yeah, and that could definitely be it. The tattoos could represent that split in the personality. Let's actually do that. We'll go with the flaw as a split personality. And that'll also speak to why this individual is also chaotic evil. Even in the fact when it's split, when they do have the regular normal side where it's all the good paladin ink, they're still evil. They just might use that now as more of a tool, let's say, to work other people to do things for them. The old and good, and tattoos on the other half representing the new and dark. The best, all right, personality, the best way to get me to do something is to tell me I can't do it. What she knows is correct, and any attempt at convincing her that she's wrong results in her belief that the speaker has been converted by her prior faith. Ooh, that's good. All right, so personality traits. The best way to get me to, all right, self-assured. All right, so personality traits. I'm gonna use both of those, where they're self-assured and driven in that they, you know, if you tell them that they can't do something, they absolutely can. They feel like now they have to. So we go self-assured and driven, and we'll use that as anyone that becomes forceful. I hope I'm summarizing this all right. Obviously is has been corrupted by previous faith. And it's actually really good. Now, do you want to go with a little narcissism in this character? I don't mind it. Narcissism in a paladin is absolutely part of that flaw characteristic, I think. So narcissism, we'll do that. Throw that in there. Now let's look at some ideals. Depending on, like, if we look at criminal, entertainer, no. Folk hero, no. I'm just trying to see. I mean, most of these ones that are in the book here are going to be more along the lines of, a good character. Meddling in the affairs of others only causes trouble. Power, solitude, and contemplation are paths towards mystical and magical power. That's a good one for the evil side of the house. I'm looking at ideals right now, just to see if there's any that might fit our character. I must prove that I can handle myself without the coddling of my family. The strongest are meant to rule. That's not a bad one for our evil paladin here. We got here, so we got that one already. Look at that. I don't feel that this individual is going to be like greedy by any means. I think it's more of a power. Like, if I become strong, I can take what I want, what I deserve. Not so much in a greedy sense, but man, there's a lot of them in here that are evil for greed. I don't think that is at all the push for this character. All right, so independence. I'm a free spirit. No one tells me what to do. Maybe that's part of the breaking of the alignment, because as the paladin, having to always follow the tenets of their religion, always being told what to do by their order, the priests of the order, the other paladins of the order, and just got a little too much, and just like, leave me alone. I got to do my thing. And granted, this thing is now evil and chaotic. Okay, so here's a good one, but it's actually for acolyte. Yeah, desiring power can be a form of greed. Self-righteous, she believes that she is the instrument of cleansing, and it is her duty to fulfill that goal regardless of the cost. Now that's a good one. I like that as an ideal because it goes along with the one I was just about to say. And this one is the chaotic part. In change, we must help bring about the changes the gods are constantly working in the world. So let's say that instead of like doing the changes that the god is constantly doing, that the gods are just overly involved, let's say. And that's where this one's just like, there's too much involvement of the religions there's too much play by powers that we can't see, that we have to believe in, and then boom, becomes this bad person. So I'm going to go with that. I like that. Self-righteous. I like that. Self-righteous. And believes that she is the instrument of cleansing. And that could also be a reason why she's the nemesis to Gazira, because Gazira is a half-orc, and though is an agent for good, Gilda, having come across her, may have just been like, you have orc blood. It's not normal. You can't be good. You must be a bad, evil creature. I must destroy you thus. But in that passion to destroy, not taking in the actual person and personality that character is, twists Gilda into becoming everything that she despises, and now feels that she has to cleanse all these things. And that, like, maybe Gazira is more of like a perversion to the grand scheme of things. Believe is an instrument for cleansing. I like that. All right. Now, Bond, what is the one, that's like that, what's that driving force behind that? It can always come back to that cleansing thing. I mean, it's kind of dark. All right, so Gazira, I actually have her right here. And if you guys get an opportunity, there is a write-up for her on the page. It's down below. It'll be in the notes, and it's a character write-up for Gazira. So Gazira is a half-orc monk. She is part of the Firelock cast of orcs. She was the product of a orc-human relation in a raid. The human mother took the baby to a monastery to be raised because obviously it wasn't going to be accepted in the village, but the monks took her in and she became this monk herself. She's only first level on the write-up, but she's got a 19 strength, 16 con, 16 dex, 14 intelligence, 16 wisdom, 8 charisma. So she's actually got really great stats. She carries a flute staff, which works as a quarterstaff, but the flute staff is actually a didgeridoo. That's her instrument of choice. She's self-reflecting on to better oneself is to better the world type character. She is part of the Sanctum of Idar, which is home to the Brotherhood of the Claw. That's kind of the order that she walks. She has a necklace that has a dragon claw on it. She follows the hermit/explorer, kind of mixed two different things for her personality ideal Bond. So her personality traits are that she needs a quiet place to work on her art. She, the community leader, always had a pearls of wisdom, and she likes to share pearls of wisdom herself with others. She follows the live and let live and self-knowledge ideals. Her bonds are isolation gave to a great evil only that she can destroy. Through her isolation, she learned of this great evil that only she can destroy. And she also has a fear of spiders, and we actually gave her negatives to her saves and reactions when dealing with spiders. And then, of course, there is a write-up, as I mentioned. So Gazira is our half-orc female monk, and that's Gilda's sworn enemy. So, kind of some good stuff. Anything to prove my superior to me hated rival. Myself superior to my hated rival. That's actually a really good one, too. Dang. I like that. So, Robert, we're going to take that bond. I will do anything to prove myself superior to my hated rival. Do anything to prove superiority over hated rival. That's a good one. And we're going to put Gazira on there as well. Gazira is her hated rival. So, and like I said, it is a really cool character that you guys are helping me build here, in that just based on this, I would love to see this character in a campaign as, leading a small band of adventure of villainous, or putting together a hold of a small band of villains that basically under her guidance, because she feels that there are corruptions in the world that she needs to cleanse, and that her religion wasn't allowing her to benefit from this, and everything that she was exposed to when it just didn't mix. It's like all the puzzle pieces are there, but they just don't interlock for her, and she has to find a way to make it click. And in doing so, has become this evil entity that just, if it doesn't fit her image of what's right, must be removed. And absolutely, Gazira falls in that, because Gazira is a good character, but is the spawn of evil, in that she was the result of a orc raid on a village, and was produced by that. But she was raised good, and she's a good character. So that absolutely twisted Gilda, and now Gilda is hell-bent on destroying things that just don't fit into her mold of perfection. Oh, a paladin at the same monastery. When the other people there, monks and paladins, accepted Gazira as one of their own, she made it a goal to expose Gazira. She became so upset. That's what I'm talking about, William. That is a good backstory. And she found nothing, that Gazira was even more pure and devout than she was. Yeah, that's good. Good job, William. That's a backstory that definitely could lend itself to this. Did I just say lend itself to? Ah, that's my phrase, guys. All right, so there we have it. Gilda has her has her place in this world now. Like I said, I will go and I'm going to find the spells and stuff for this character. We basically have this character fleshed out. We just got to put the other stats in there. I got to get a DMG real quick after this, and I'll skin her with the Oathbreaker stats, figure out what that does to the character as far as what do I have to change and everything. And we have ourselves Gilda Ironwood, our 5th level paladin, who is a gnome and who has become an Oathbreaker based on that really awesome backstory that William just kind of threw down there. What if the split personality is at war with itself like Golem Smeagol? That would work too, James. That's another good connection there, absolutely. So we're down to the last few minutes here before we close up until next time. So next week, here's some news on next week. I will be here Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode of Painting Happy Little Minis. I'm not sure what we're going to be painting on Tuesday. We might actually take a look at some new product. We've done Reaper, we've done the Rune Wars miniatures, we've done the Whiz Kids miniatures, the new unpainted pre-primed minis, Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures from Whiz Kids. I do have a bunch of stuff from All Out War, Walking Dead All Out War from Mantic Games that I probably think we should probably take a look at, maybe paint a couple things from there. So that might be Tuesday. But the rest of the week next week, we will not be broadcasting Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday because I will be at the Diamond Comic Distributors Retailer Summit in Chicago. And then I'll be Friday and Saturday also at C2E2. So if you guys are in the Chicago area or going to C2E2, I will be there Friday and Saturday. So if we bump into each other, stop and say hi. Let's talk D&D or talk any role-playing game, board game, comics. I'll talk comics, obviously. My whole arm here is comic books. So I love talking about all those things that are geeks centric, and we can also talk about, I want to talk about it right now actually, that dang trailer. If you haven't watched it yet, the Last Jedi trailer dropped today, gave me goosebumps because it's like, what's going on? A lot of questions are going to be asked, and a lot of people are going to be breaking down this trailer to kind of figure it out as best they can. And I'm sure we're going to see a couple more trailers before the movie hits anyways. So pretty excited about that. And as for all of you that are at Star Wars Celebration down in Orlando today, lucky, have a good time. I want to see all the pictures. And yeah, so next week we're going to be a little, like I said, a little broken in that I'll be at the summit and C2E2, so we're only getting one day of broadcasting with paints. But then the next week we'll be back with 2 episodes of Painting Happy Little Miniatures, another episode of Building Character, and we'll just have a good time. But until then, go to your local game store. Become part of the community there. Find the local gamers that are fans of the things you are fans of. And just play lots of fun games and let me know about it. I want to hear all about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.